Oh yeah, come on in. Don't be shy, don't stall. We got a funky vibe, yeah. Welcome all. It's a safe spot where the truth of mine. Share your thoughts, leave your worries behind. Woo! Defense West, that's where you belong. Click that like and groove along. Hit subscribe, let the love flow free. Join the fam where you're meant to be. Woo! Got mysteries and stories that couldn't ride. We dig deep, ain't no secrets to hide. No judgment here, just an open crew. We're all about justice and the honest view. Yeah, Defense West, that's where you belong. Click that like and groove along. Hit subscribe, let the love flow free. Join the fam where you're meant to be.
Morning. Hello. Welcome. Happy Thursday. Hello, sweetness. Happy Thursday, the 9th of January. The 9th of frickin' January. The 9th. Tomorrow, we're going to wake up and go, where did the year go? It's Christmas Eve. Oh, sorry. I know. That's awful. That's nightmares. Nightmare material. Anyway, welcome. This is the Defense Rest. I'm Jody, if you don't already know me. And if you have just washed up on our shores unannounced and purely by us, welcome, whether you're watching live or on the replay. Today, if you've been hiding under a rock somewhere and you don't know about the Judge Kevin Mullens and Sheriff Mickey Stines case, the case where the sheriff shot the judge and not the other way around. Although I do have a good clip on that. In fact, I might actually just where did I hide it? In 2 seconds. Oh, shite. I saw it 2 seconds ago. Oh, it'll be my history. It's okay. Stop, look, stop. Okay, Jody, calm your farm. One step at a time. YouTube history. Just watched it. Come on. That's it. There we go. Oh, gee. You've been busy, Jody. You've watched quite a lot of things, quite a number of things. Oh, I do believe. Have you all been watching the Karen Reid sidebars? Sidebars? Oh, come on. Wasn't that far back, surely? There it is. Gotcha. Come on. All right, this is just a quick snippet. Let's put this up on the stage just to get the mood. Set the stage, hey? Share screen. Yes. Share and go. Ready, please, Mr. Music. See, why am I so small? What the fudge? Right, this has got to go. That's better. Now I can adjust it. Thank you. So, how have we been? Are we all recovered after Christmas? Because I am not a huge fan of Christmas, I must say. Only when my kids were younger, but yeah, to me it's a commercial bloody holiday, and I figure if you can't spend time with me, oops, wrong button. You can't spend time with me throughout the year, don't bother doing it on fucking Christmas. You know, that's just me though. I hope Santa was generous. Okay, Now, let me full screen that, and that should be G to G. Lovely. I can move you down a little bit. I can come in that just for shits and gigs. Oh, look, we're getting somewhere for once. You would not believe the day I've had. Hello, Mr. Udahef. How you doing? I actually found this quite funny. That's probably my sense of humor, but where is it? Let me just find the spot. Don't want to listen to Vinny's BS. There we go.
Daughter.
Right.
This lip-syncing video of the sheriff and his daughter shows them goofing around as she sits on the back of his police car. Their choice of songs, of all things, I Shot the Sheriff. The police officer testified that the sheriff's daughter's phone number was
How funny is that? Yeah, sorry. Had to show it. It's got to be done. You need to what? Back in... What? You need back in blue. What? How must stay? Oh, fuck, I've gone circle again. Shit. Thank you. Yeah, I made my bed and everything. Put a candle out. What you can do is look at it. Okay. Now, I've been on a wild goose chase this evening because Jodie does her research on many devices. That being phone, that being iPad, and that being computer, depending on the location. Oh, I checked these out. Sorry. I have to show you before I've got black all over my hand. Other hand. Look at the colour of them. Whoa. Oh. Don't mind the gnarly hand, but the nails, fabulous. Fabulous. Thanks, Tanya. Yes, so I've been I've recorded all these things. I have saved all these things, and I've been trying to put them all in one spot. So, oh, it's beautiful. Actually, I'll show you a bit more on the light because it doesn't do it any justice. Hey, did you guys know, just as a bit of useless information, if you own an iPhone, you can command it to turn the torch on by saying, oh, fuck it, I'm going to forget it now. What's it out of Harry Potter where they, hey Siri, Lumos. Ta-da! Torch on. Do it again. Get off. No, I can't turn the fucker off. Okay. Hey Siri. Lumos. Ta-da! Okay. Look at them little beauties. I can't even get that right. Yeah. I can't hold my arms up high enough. Fuck. Ah, fuck you, arthritis. Fuck you. Fucking piece of. Turn it off. Stop. Off. Right. Go. As soon as you open the what? The pod bay doors. Okay. Hey Siri. Open the pod bay doors.
It looks like you haven't set up any smart home accessories. Accessories like lights, locks, and thermostats in the home app.
I did have a what do you call it? Google Home, but I found it was talking all the time inappropriately. Yeah, we just start talking all of a sudden. So yes. Where am I? Okay, I might just do. There's a quick 5-minute overview of the case, just to catch any people up that haven't heard of the trial or seen it, from... Okay. When I had my Google Home, I set it up to say things like, "Hey Siri, do I love Alicia? Hey Siri, do I love Jamison? Hey Siri, blah 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 blah," and I'd program the
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
Sorry Siri. And I'd program the Google Home to respond to it, and I'd actually ask it the question, "Hey Siri, do I like..." this particular person that I didn't like, and it would respond to me with like this massive barrage of abuse and potty words. It's great. Oh hell no! Yeah, beep 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 beep. No, I haven't seen Space Odyssey. Sorry, but there is another movie coming out. Speaking of movies, I think it's on the 13th, to be honest. So that's what, 4 sleeps? That would be the Karen Reid documentary movie thingy. Yep. The first one is set to drop on the 13th, I believe. All right. Let's quickly here's another funny I found. Brian Enton's latest video, which we're going to watch a bit of, but I had to laugh, and I'm sure she won't mind me playing this, but I did laugh.
Nothing, for no reason. Or like with my case, the court ordered me to take Suboxone, and then showed up at the hospital when I gave birth to take my child because she had Suboxone in her system. She had Subutex in her system. They said my prescription wasn't valid. It was.
Give it a
My
second,
clinic
sorry.
closed like a couple weeks before I went into labor, but I still had a whole month's prescription for that month with pills left over that I hadn't even taken yet. And that was the grounds for taking her.
How many times would you say you had sex with the judge in the courthouse?
Countless.
Countless.
For sexual relations of some sort. Yeah.
I mean, if you had to put a number on it.
Stands up.
I don't know. Have you seen my record? It's a long one.
And basically...
He's been part of every charge I've ever had.
And when you would get a charge, what would he say?
He'd whack at me, tell me to come see him. We'll get it figured out or whatever. But he never did. He ended up just like slamming me. They slammed me with all them other crazy charges.
That was me laughing as I was recording it. Oh dear. So yes. So there has been a few updates. I'll just do this quick overview, and then we'll get into it. Where am I? Share the screen. I think Anjanette today, through the square window, can update us on Mickey freaking Stines. Add to stage. Go back to the bloody... what are you doing? There we go. Let's go.
Now former sheriff. Now new details are coming to light about what could have been going on in the background involving the judge and sex in his chambers. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. It's been nearly 3 months since Judge Kevin Mullens was shot to death in his chambers in Letcher County, Kentucky. And now, recordings that have surfaced that include allegations about sex in the courthouse are giving us some new insight into what may have been going on in Letcher County. The shooting of Judge Mullens shocked anyone who heard about it. You just don't hear about something like this happening. And if you do, the shooter certainly isn't the county sheriff. But Kentucky State Police say that's exactly what happened back on September 19th. Longtime friends, Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Stines and Judge Kevin Mullens went to lunch together, and within a matter of hours, Stines was recorded on video shooting Mullens. At a preliminary hearing, a detective described what happened leading...
I think, Teresia, if you're signed into my YouTube account, I'm streaming to Tan's channel as well. So it's probably one message on Tanya's and one on mine. what I'm guessing.
Up to the shooting.
Are you aware of anything so far in your investigation that would tell us there was any issues at lunch between Judge
No.
Mullens and Sheriff Stines?
No.
But someone on behalf of the KSB has spoken to those witnesses?
Yes, they've all been interviewed.
And there was nothing unusual that had arisen during that luncheon?
I was told that the judge made a statement to Mickey about, do we need to meet private in my chambers? That's all I was told.
Do you know the context of
I do
what
not.
the conversation was before that they would need to discuss in chambers?
I do not.
And have you had an opportunity to review the video
I have.
of the prior incident?
I have.
And can you describe for us what happened immediately prior to the clip that we saw?
Sheriff Stines uses his telephone to make some phone calls. He then borrows Judge Mullens' cell phone and appears to make a call on that. And that led to what you just saw.
Yes, it does. All right. That's what that would be this video. See, I'm a bit organised today. And she says that she can't see the bloody. It's called original. Original. That one? Nope. Oh, come on, Jody. You saved it there. Original. Oh, it's on camera, sorry. Yeah, see? Got shit everywhere. Well, projects. There it is. Right there. And start. Okay. Yeah, how do I share that? Remove. And share screen. This is the one I found. It's only a snippet, but it's the only one I could find that doesn't have pixels over it, because I want you to watch the exact. Now, how do I make that embiggened? That. Oh, there we go. See, look, all right. He's taken 2 shots there, all right? The direction was headed towards that window. Where is the blood splatter? Where? Now another direction. You should see something on this wall. 2 shots, bang. Oh. Rapid. Ah, okay. That was it. Yeah. The 2 different angles. No blood splatter. No. Just okay. Now, where was I? Recent. I get lost. Ouch. One. Announce it. That's it. Okay, good. Right, what have I got in here to share? What have I got? What have I got? All right, how about we start off with the hearing that was supposed to be about the motions to change of venue and the bond hearing, which was before Christmas. And I don't know this. You hit a main artery. A 9mm doesn't cook. Oh, doesn't it? But what if? I mean, so this we're just doing it. I'm not just doing it like common sensey. Okay, so the sheriff is aiming downwards. the judge is on the floor, so likely of hitting this part high. Just saying. Yes, they would. You know, like, and just like that horrible video of is it Asana, the Russian, the young girl that came to Australia and was stabbed on the train. That was horrific, and that amount of blood there, like, not a hint. And even when the security guard is standing there on his phone, nothing. I don't know. Miss Gunsmith. Miss Concealed Carry. No, not concealed carry, because you don't have to conceal in your state. So, Judge Cohen, the current judge that is on the Mickey Stines case, is Mickey's defense attorneys have issued a recusal. What do you call it? A motion to recuse, because, as you heard it here first, that actual day of the hearing, there is a conflict of interest, because both Kevin Mullens and the Judge Cohen on the case now were a part of the Letcher County corruption, the Kentucky Judicial Commission on Mental Health. And they had a meeting that was like the week before this actual incident, and there is also video footage of that meeting, and they are sitting side by side like for 2 hours. So it's apparently the decision is up to the judge, which I think is a bit stupid. So he needs to decide whether or not he's biased or not. Yep. Yeah. So that's why that was cancelled. So I would say that we'll be seeing a new judge fairly soon, and hopefully things will get cracking after that. Now, Brian Enton did an update today and interviewed, I don't know if you've heard, hey, Simmy, how you going, Dylan? What's her name? Alison Weinstein? She's fabulous anyway. She has actually been a massive support to the girls, both Ty, Brandy, and everyone else. And she then reports back to Brian and then updates him, basically. So he had a few interesting questions to ask her about the proceedings and just update it. So, yeah, we'll have a listen to what she's got to say, because it adds a little bit more context. Go back to there, share screen. 525, nope. What fudge is it? Sex handle. And Kentucky. Yeah, that's it. Use blind, Jody. Get some glasses. Get you some glasses. So this is here. This is Alison Weinstein, I think it is. Oh, that's crap. Oh dear. That'll do. Let me move the chat off. Off Brian's chin. Chat, get off his chin. Actually, no, I probably should cover that. Far out. These hats are crap. There we go. That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
For the Kentucky story. She also, by the way, has a new book coming out called Murder and the Media, which is awesome because I've gotten a little sneak peek. And it comes out in April, but it's available for pre-order already. So I'm going to put a link to the pre-order in the description below, so you can just click on it. But with
behind the scenes, folks.
Well, to be honest, at the moment, I don't think they would have a problem because it's not really, you're hearing the updates, but you're not hearing any of the backstory. Once it goes, like once the backstory gets out and all of the depth of the corruption and the depth of and the length of time and the whole shit show, that's when that's when the trial will start, and that's when people will take interest. So yeah,
lots of secrets.
A lot of secrets. Yeah, a lot of secrets. With this judge story that we've been covering so closely and the sheriff, so there was this hearing recently that we were all anticipating because everything's kind of felt slow going with the sheriff's trial. And the strange thing is, right when the hearing started, the judge ended the hearing. Like there really was no hearing. And I don't know that I've ever seen anything quite like that before. And there was really no explanation. Have we been able to figure out why the hearing was abruptly ended right when it started?
Yes, we have, because at first we were all confused. But basically, Sheriff Stein's lawyer, Jeremy Bartley, has filed a motion to disqualify the judge. And that motion is based on the fact that Judge Cohen had been, it's a motion for recusal, and Cohen and Mullens are pictured in video. And this is about 6 days before Mullens was killed by Sheriff Stein. And they're inches apart for approximately 2 hours at a meeting. And Mullens' widow was also in attendance. And the motion details that during the video, and I'm reading it just so that we get it completely right, Mullens reported on his involvement with legislative efforts as well as women's.
Okay. Let's just, I'm going to just pause it there. I want you to put this into context. What the accusations actually are against Judge Kevin Mullens. And he is the leader of this committee. Okay? And this committee does, like its function and its focus is what Alison is about to tell you. Okay?
Seeing it just so that we get it completely right. Mullens reported on his involvement with legislative efforts as well as women's dignity bills, which are pieces of legislation that are targeted to improving the conditions for incarcerated women.
What?
So
wait, what?
Mullens is shown discussing upcoming events, and his buddy, the judge, is right next to him the whole time, along with the judge's now widow.
Hey guys, all right, so we made it through the holiday.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. That's what he's blowing smoke up everyone's ass. Yep, dignity for women in prisons. Now, if you didn't watch a couple of nights ago, we had Ty on, and she was telling us about the absolutely despicable, revolting conditions in Letcher County Jail, which is actually under the courthouse itself. It's not even a separate building. It's underneath. It is subhuman and disgusting. Disgusting. And I do have she shared with me some Facebook posts from mothers of children who are in the jail, and
You've been months before the sheriff shot the judge. Maybe that would have been an argument that wouldn't fly.
Yeah, exactly.
But Judge Cohen did not release and did not tell the parties that this had happened.
Yeah.
He didn't disclose.
Why?
That's what we call it legally. And
why? Why would that be? Why would he not disclose that he knew him?
A portion of the motion, says that this appearance would not be so concerning had it happened months earlier. However, this video creates an impression to the public that there is a bias in favor of his colleagues seated next to him.
Yep.
And the video creates a strong presumption that it is extremely difficult to rebut. And
now, you want to know something really funny? we reported on this, I think it was the 23rd or 24th, or maybe, no, 26th of December, I think. Sometime around then. The defence put this motion in on the 29th of December. The motion to recuse.
Dealing with law and courts and presumptions. Even if there isn't actually a bias, you need to not have a presumption that there might be a bias. You need to have a situation where there isn't an appearance of something not being correct. You know, it's an appearance of impropriety, so, you know, we call it, or an appearance that something is off. It doesn't necessarily factually have to meet the factual allegations, but in this case, it's pretty strange. I don't know what you think about it, but the fact that the judge is buddies with the judge that is overseeing Sheriff Stines' case and was with him by his side. This is not just a passing acquaintance. I mean, they were at the same event. Nobody's moving around. He's next to him for 2 hours, and they're chatting away about the importance of treating women who are incarcerated in the right way, which is at the heart of Sheriff Stines' actions against Judge Mullens.
So, and
allegedly,
and Judge Mullens' wife was also there. Interesting.
You know
so,
I mean, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, the point is that
there's also, I was under the impression that there's the criminal trial and the 2 civil suits that Jenna Mullens has submitted. One is for the first one with Mickey in his official capacity, and then the second one is the wrongful death one. But there is another one, apparently.
The reasons that we are hearing for Sheriff Stines killing Judge Mullens were A, that he had threatened his family, B, that he'd been told not to say anything about what really went on in the Letcher County Jail and how they were using inmates for sex and basically running a bordello. And the number of women who have complained are up in double digits about what had happened to them. So we have the sheriff, we have the judge.
Well, don't you think that they would have, why would they have waited until now? Why would they get him established in this position and started in pretrial proceedings without checking it out? I don't think they know. It's too much of a coincidence.
Vetted for being a protector of these women. And we have the judge that's presiding over this trial sitting next to Judge Mullens saying, go you know, being his bestie.
Interesting. So do you think that that's why the hearing didn't happen? I mean, do we know that? Or do you think the judge just, what's happening behind the scenes?
Well, the judge was supposed to go on and rule on the different motions that were present. You can't really, until they deal with the motion for disqualification, the judge can't really go on with the trial. He's going to decide and make the case for the fact that he isn't biased, and he has to go.
Well, Alison gives her opinion on that, T. So let's have a listen. Because I'm
going to have to make that decision, claim he's not biased. If the defense still feels that that is an incorrect conclusion, they can go up on an appeal, or I don't know how it works in Kentucky and California. It would be like a writ. You go above whatever the ruling is and try to get it reversed. But frankly, it's a really difficult situation. But he can't go on as if nothing happened when somebody's asked to disqualify him.
So did you get to make the decision about whether or not he has a conflict?
I believe so.
Yeah, he does.
That's kind of strange.
Well, I think the appearance of impropriety, or the fact that there might be the language, even in the motion by the defense to recuse him, is the language that he needs to overcome. And that seems difficult to me, but I don't know what's going to happen. But yes, he does. The fact is, let's say he isn't biased and he's not buddies with the judge. He just stood next to him for 2 hours and feted him and arrived at this event that was there to praise the judge for his behavior. Let's say none of that's true, though it seems to be true. But if none of that's true, everybody's still going to think that he had a bias. And when it comes time to appeal, whatever judgment happens, whatever the jury decides, whatever happens during the trial of Sheriff Stines, that's going to be an appellate issue. So generally, lawyers and judges and everybody wants to make sure the record's as clean as possible. We're seeing this in other cases when there, death penalty is in effect, or when there are really high stakes for
this case, Mickey Stines' case, is a potential death penalty case. The state has death penalty. And found that out the other day.
Murder one. That you want to be sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's, and you don't hand the defense a reason to be able to overturn any kind of conviction.
It just seems like with the judge being involved, who's obviously well known, the sheriff being involved, who's obviously well known, and then all of these allegations about corruption, that this thing needs to just be moved as far away as possible, where like you find people who just do not know them, which maybe that's difficult in Kentucky though.
Well, they're bringing a judge in who's from far away. I actually was speaking to a source there and said it's like about 7 hours wherever this judge is.
Okay.
Which makes it even more of a problem because there he was having driven a lot of hours to be with, there are judges in Lexington that they could get. There are judges in other places. Whitesburg is what we drive about 2.5 hours to get to Whitesburg from Lexington. They're not using anybody in Whitesburg, which makes perfect sense because this is where all these judges sat. And they were clearly, colleagues and close friends of Judge Mullens. But there are other places that are hours away. They don't need to pick somebody who clearly has a friendly and supportive relationship with Judge Mullens.
Right.
So I think there are options, is what I'm saying.
And he
at
didn't
least
disclose
from
it.
my reporting.
Well, I guess we'll wait and see what the judge decides about whether or not he has a conflict, which that just again seems weird to me that he's the one who decides, but I guess that's just how it works. Moving on, something else interesting. So there's obviously the criminal trial, which we're talking about, where the sheriff is on trial for killing the judge. But there's also this ongoing civil lawsuit behind the scenes. First of all, remind us about the civil lawsuit, what it is, and then the new development involving the sheriff.
Okay, the civil lawsuit is a civil rights lawsuit in federal court. It was filed by 2 plaintiffs. One of them is dead. One is still alive, Rebecca. She's still alive. The lawsuit is going forward. We thought it was going to settle.
Exactly.
She's represented by, I believe, Ned Pillersdorf, and then there's another lawyer.
If he does, that's what Alison was just saying. If he does say no, then it becomes an appellate issue. It gives them, the defense, an opportunity to have it overturned on appeal. So if he wants to keep it clean, and above board, that's what he has to do.
That is her main lawyer.
And she's claiming she was sexually abused, right?
Yes. This is based on Ben Fields.
Ben Fields.
Yeah,
but she's also
I have not
the sheriff.
I have not heard about this one. This is a Rebecca who has filed a civil suit on the Ben Fields front. I know Sabrina has settled part of her civil claim. She settled with the actual ankle monitor company. No details on that yet, but so there's someone else still though.
Sheriff's Department for the reaction, Sheriff Stines, and the city.
And just for people who don't remember, Ben Fields is a deputy.
Well, in my opinion, we shouldn't be in this position. Judge Corrin obviously knew that he knew the judge and should have disclosed it. So that's dodgy from the start again. I call bullshit.
The Sheriff's Department, and she's alleging that he basically sexually assaulted her while she was in custody, right? Which goes back to all sorts of allegations involving the similar things with the judge.
It wasn't exactly. It's not exactly sexually assaulted her in custody. In order for her to stay in her program and have home detention, she had to give him sexual favors.
Okay.
And if she didn't do the sexual favors, when she finally said enough, because there were other issues happening for her, she was arrested and put back in prison.
Got it. So what is this new development now with Sheriff Stines?
Well, Sheriff Stines is going to be testifying in that lawsuit, in that federal civil rights lawsuit, because basically what we have here is a plaintiff who's saying her civil rights were violated while she was a prisoner. And this is exactly what I believe everybody in Letcher County that was giving Sheriff Stines a hard time before he did his deposition was dreading. He was deposed. You have to keep that in mind. And at the deposition, he did not implicate anybody else in Letcher County besides Ben Fields as having been involved in any kind of sexual impropriety or sexual crimes against inmates. And now he's going to be testifying in this trial, and what he's going to say will be probably very different from what he said at that deposition.
You think he was lying the first time?
I think that's what the defense, I mean, I think that's what the defense attorneys are going to say. Are you lying now? Were you lying then? Are you lying now, sir? But I think what he will say is, I didn't tell the truth because they threatened my family, which is something that we've heard him say repeatedly after he was arrested. He was terrified about his family. That's certainly what we've heard from his defense team. But we also heard those words from him in the video following the shooting and the murder of Judge Mullens. So I don't know if he was telling the truth at the original deposition, but I know that will be used against him. Any decent defense attorney is going to say, well, why didn't you mention this then? And then we're going to get into why he didn't mention it then. How many names will he say? You know, it's going to be a real problem. Moreover, I think there is a third thing to keep in mind. There's also a component of this that involves a drug rehab program called ARC that is in that same area. And somebody involved in that program is under investigation, as well as the program by the FBI. So they also were using some of the inmates and people going into the courtroom for sexual purposes, for photos. So we're going to that will likely come up in the civil rights lawsuit as well.
Interesting. Is it an issue for him to testify in the civil rights lawsuit when he is currently about to go on trial for murder? Like, could that be a conflict?
I think if it's something that might damage his case, yes, it could be a conflict, and he would have to take the fifth and say, because he can't incriminate himself. But he's on the witness list. Perhaps his lawyers will object and say he will appear, but he will only take the fifth. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. Or he's going to appear and say some of the things that we've been reporting from different victims that he was aware of. Victims who have told us specifically that he was aware of it and not part of it. So I'm not sure. It's a really good question you asked, because it's quite possible that being on a witness list doesn't mean he's going to say anything.
Right. He could just plead, his attorney could just say, look, because what he says there could then come in at his murder trial, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And generally, you don't want to make statements against your own interest. That's what, I'm taking the Fifth Amendment because something I say may be used against me to hurt my case and to put me in prison. So I don't think the attorneys are going to say he's not coming. You can't say that, because he's been put on the witness list and subpoenaed, but he could sit on the witness stand and just take the fifth through the whole thing. We've seen this with all kinds of different people, certainly political figures that are on the witness stand. I mean, you show up, but you don't necessarily say anything.
Interesting. Yeah, that's one we'll have to watch and see what happens. In terms of all these women, and you've gotten to know a lot of them, Taya being really kind of the main one who we've talked to, but there's been others too who have made these allegations, these sort of bigger allegations about corruption in the county, and the judge, making them perform sex acts to get out of trouble, basically. What's the latest with the women? I mean, you stay in touch with them. I mean, it's a small place. I mean, now that they've come forward, is it difficult for them?
Many of them claim that they're being harassed. It sounds very credible to me for some of them that I've spoken to, that they are being harassed, that people drive by their houses, that they have video of people, different law enforcement driving by their houses. There's also women who talk, who are, I guess, not part of their circle of friends, who are claiming, and men, that they're just a bunch of prostitutes and drug addicts who just gave this sex away. So there's a lot of talk about that. Why do we even care? Because
and who fueled that fire?
Women are all lying, and they're just looking for a payday, which is actually something we heard in the grand jury transcript, that one of the witnesses said, that, oh, why do we believe them? They're just, crack whores or something along that. Something just equally as awful. I think that was actually what they said. But nonetheless, what I'm seeing are scared women who are afraid to come forward at this point. Women whose stories I've heard already.
I do too. Yep. It's a sensible thing to do, but that's exactly what they're doing in the civil case with Karen Reid. That's why they've subpoenaed all of those. So
stories you've heard already that don't want to say them publicly. The stakes are too high. They have to live in that little town. They are under the control of law enforcement.
Yep.
They claim that pills or drugs could be planted in their cars
Yep.
when they get stopped. They can be
Yep.
stopped, you know, they have a tail light out there. They could be always find a reason, or they're speeding or whatever, or it's not a legit.
Or they even get charged with DUI when you're walking in the park and you're not even in a freaking car. Yep. That happened.
Stop, but nonetheless, who are you going to believe? And it all comes back to something that we talked about at the beginning. These are the perfect victims.
They are.
Some of them are still on drugs. They have a lifelong substance abuse problem. Some of them have volatile relationships with their spouses or their boyfriends.
Yep.
They get beat up, and then there are drug charges, or they don't file charges because they've been beat up, and their credibility is really difficult. It's going to be an issue in a court of law. But worse than that, I don't think they're even thinking that far along. I think they're talking about their day-to-day life, which involves harassment, people saying things to their faces that they're liars.
What was it that Liz said? She said people are thinking the consensus I'm hearing is that they don't believe that people like Tyre are victims. No, they're not victims. No. Yeah, because there was money involved, you know. So, yeah, and they were doing drugs off my hind hand, and it was fun until it wasn't. Really.
And how dare you say that about my husband, or how dare you say that about my cousin, or whoever it is?
That's right.
So I found that the fear has grown exponentially since we started this.
If you haven't heard, so there has been at least one attempt, probably about 6 weeks ago, on Tyre. And, well, then there's obviously the Brandy's grandchildren. But yeah, there was an attempt, exactly like what happened to Mickey just before the deposition, just before. So, and she nearly fell for it because it was an old family friend. So that really shook her. So it's still there. It's still real. And she thinks that she believes that because she's got such media presence at the moment, because they did do a massive 2-day thing with Court TV just before Christmas that's due to come out, and she got into a lot of the backstory stuff, so not just the sex thing, but the child trafficking. And there is was I watching it on stream, or was I watching it? Yeah, last night when we were doing it, I was watching it on stream, and it was Ben Fields had actually pimped out. Was it Jennifer? When she got out of prison, he had primed his uncle and said, hey, I'll send this one to you. I'm going to give her this much. Yeah, like, fuck. So it's not just the children that are being trafficked. And then if they don't comply, they get sent straight back to jail. She was saying that because initially she didn't want the assistance, or didn't need the assistance with the payment of the thing. And he sort of tried to push himself onto her in the chambers, pushed her up against the wall, started kissing her, and the investigator saying, did you say no? And, well, she said, I was stunned. It was a police officer, like I didn't expect that to come from him. And like, who do I complain to? Like, really? So, yeah.
Story.
I've got her audio well, queued up, ready to play. Jennifer Hill. So we'll have a listen.
The more we cover it, the more fearful they become.
Yep.
Yeah, it's difficult. And some of them have told us, right, the first thing they say is, here's my rap sheet. I have all these arrests. A lot of people have said, oh, why do you believe them, or why do you care about this story? Because they're just losers or whatever. But first of all, they are people and they are victims. And then you look at like with Jeffrey Epstein, it was very much a similar situation. Though a lot of those girls were from trailer parks. They just go pick them up. You know, Ghislaine Maxwell would drive through trailer parks or have someone drive through, and basically girls that nobody cared
Epstein.
about, you know, that were just, that they felt like were just from the slums of society.
We've got Epstein.
It kind of, you know, you're right. It's like the perfect victim because they're easy to discredit and say like, oh, why should we believe them? Screw them.
I've had women tell me that their mothers told them to be quiet, to stop talking, that there's nothing to be gained here for you. This is not going to come out well for you. Not to mention the fact, I think the comparison with Jeffrey Epstein is apt, or the Diddy people. I mean, like people that don't have people supporting them, people that have a drug past. And if they didn't have a drug, you know, I mean, if they didn't have a drug past, they have other kinds of issues like at home, sexually abused from a young age. I mean, we have heard everything. And I think that for some reason, in this day and age, there is a propensity by a lot of people to not believe victims, because there is never really the perfect victim. Because if they were the perfect,
then why would you subject yourself to this type of persecution? If you know, like, why do it?
Victim with a huge support system and parents and money and all the things that, you know, and close relationships, they wouldn't probably have been chosen by these men.
Right.
They wouldn't have been in jail.
Right.
And once they're in jail, I very much
manipulated
believe their stories.
And just one last thing, Allison, I forgot to mention that I wanted to ask you about. So is Judge Mullens' wife now suing?
Yes, she's suing the sheriff. And this is based on a wrongful death kind of lawsuit, but also against the county. So I guess what I could say is that when you sue the sheriff, you get nothing. When you sue sheriff's employees, you're never going to get very much money. When you sue the county, you're looking at a deep pocket. The police force, deep pocket. I think everybody understands what that means.
Yeah.
So all of these lawsuits that we're talking about, it's in the federal civil rights lawsuit, also against the county. And frankly, the county is the entity that runs that jail. You know, I mean, like this is all part of the government of this particular area. So it's fair enough to include them, but that's, yes, she is suing. And also, you know, been very vocal about her belief that, you know, her husband was a good man and that he's been maligned.
Yeah, right. And at the end of the day, he was killed. I mean, it's on video.
Yes.
I guess her
as far as him being a good man, however, given all the people we have talked to, that's something that's going to be litigated in court. And it doesn't qualify him for being shot by Sheriff Mullens, as you said, by Sheriff Stines, as you said. Yeah. But, you know, I whether he was a good man for me is very much questionable.
Yeah, this certainly opened up a big can of worms. And if people go back and watch all of our episodes that we've done when we've interviewed people and I've interviewed people, you can just judge for yourself what they all have to say. All right, well, that sounds good, Allison. Thank you for the update. I just wanted to make sure, because there's been a few significant little developments. I wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page. And when do you think we'll see a trial in 2026?
Interview me. Oh,
I think so.
Oh,
you do? Yeah,
I think so. We just have to get past the disqualification and then motion, and then I think we'll see things start moving again. I'm curious to see what this judge does, and we're excited to bring that information to you as soon as we know it.
Yeah, of course. All right, thank you, Allison.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, always appreciate it.
Righto. There you go. So, yeah, she thinks that there is going to be a trial this year. So, who knows? Now, where's my little notes? I was organised this time. And, okay, so we've done Sims. Yes, we've done that. done that. We've done that. All right, Google Drive, unanswered questions. I might do that after this one. So this is Jennifer Hill's depot. Well, I don't know if it was a depot. I think it's probably more a police interview, perhaps. Oh, how about I share the screen, Jody? Yep, that helps. Share screen. And the only place I could find it was right here. Sorry. Oopsie. One. Let me do that. Is that going to work? I think so. We'll soon see. Okay. And play.
A year and a half, 2 years ago, when I first got out on house arrest, I got out on Friday, and Ben Fields approached me when he was hooking up my home incarceration bracelet and told me that if I ever could not afford my house arrest, that he could come pick me up and we could do things that would make up for the money that I owed. And I didn't know what he meant at first because when he was a cop. And I asked him what he meant, and he told me sexual favors. And I told him, I said, no, I said, my husband can pay for it. Well, that following Monday, he was back to rearrest me. I hadn't done nothing wrong, hadn't got my house arrested. And then in July of last year, I got into trouble. And I was in jail from July till August and got out on house arrest again. And in August, when I got out on house arrest and was at my home, he was harassing me at first. He was just showing up and bringing the cops up there and stuff. Told me I wasn't allowed to move because I was staying at a relative's house and I was going to rent my own place. And at first he wasn't going to let me move or nothing. And then he started just showing up at the house. And my husband was gone one day, and I was scared because he'd already locked me up once before.
Yeah.
And he told me that if I would get in the car with him, it was around August 1st, maybe, no, around August 15th, something like that. He said that if I would get in the car with him and give him oral sex, that he wouldn't break my house arrest.
August 15th of what year?
Of last year, this past year.
Yeah, no.
And then
yeah, sorry.
I've got witnesses that can say that he had been, harassing me. He showed up at my house probably a week straight every single day. Later on in August, he showed up. My husband was gone again. He parks out back. He was in a sheriff's car. He asked me told me, if I'd get in a car and have sex with him, that, he would make sure that I could stay on my house. So we had sex 3 times altogether and then oral sex. The last time we had sex was in October. On October 1st, I think it was, October 2nd, I went to go pay my house rent. My husband was there, so he didn't come the following days when he came. And
he was standing up at her house.
We had sex that day. It was a couple of days later when he'd come to do it, when we had sex, then I told him I couldn't do it.
Now wait for this.
And he tried to hit me with it, and I didn't cut my bracelet. It was malfunctioned or something, I don't know. But they recovered it. The ankle bracelet was not cut off. But then when I was in jail from October until December. He kept coming. They come and got me several times, want me to write on people and stuff. And then he told me if I would just do what he told me to do, that he would make sure I got out in drug court. Well,
Did you hear what she said? So I'm going to stop this every so often and just kind of recap, just in case anybody misses it or didn't hear it. She said they were wanting her to rat on people, and she wouldn't do it. That's what she just said.
I was sentenced to drug court, and when I got out in drug court, as soon as I walked out of the building, because they could rewind the cameras, they'll see him holler at me. When I walk out of the jailhouse, he hollers at me, and I walk out. He hollers at me, I walk up to him, he looks at me and my husband, and he said, his sister Holly's over the house, over the drug court, tells me, you need to run. He said, they got a hold of him. And it scared me. So I run, and I was on the run up until February 4th. But I didn't know that anybody else had made any accusations about it. I just thought he was just doing.
So she's come forward and was making these accusations, and she didn't know about Sabrina at the time. She didn't know about this Rebecca girl. She didn't know about anybody. So she thought she was the only one. And I think it was her that makes the comment. This is Jennifer Hill. Jennifer Hill was the co-defendant in the Sabrina Atkins Ben Fields case, and she was the one that didn't make it to trial. Unalived. Yeah, and this is her deposition interview.
To me. But Ned said that he had been doing it. So I guess at least one more other person. I'm not sure.
And see, these girls don't seem to really know each other.
No, they don't.
They obviously do not run in the same circle, you know. They didn't know, allegedly, according to them, they didn't know. And I think that we heard the one last night saying she didn't know that it was happening to other women either. She thought she was the only one. And if you remember what she said last night was that the way that I took it, now this is how I perceived what she said, that she didn't think that he was doing it with other women, or she didn't want it to be because
he didn't,
if he had too many, if he was doing it to too many women, he was going to get caught, which is exactly what happened. But he would get caught, and then he wouldn't be able to help the ones that he was helping. And see, that's what you got to remember. They were taking these women. I mean, it was kind of like they had their own little playhouse down there in the courthouse with the jail being right up underneath them. And with all this new...
And with the jail being the state that it's in, what kind of incentive what would you do to get out of that? What would you do?
Information that I've been getting, I think it allegedly implicates the jail.
Oh, yeah.
And the drug court. A whole lot more than what I...
Which is linked to the ARC program.
Initially
Michael Clark.
Anticipated. I'm very disappointed. I can tell you that. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
We're also going to go back through a couple of the depositions, and we're going to reread a few parts all this and more of it. Did you hear? She said, I'm shaking right now.
Oh, too far.
All of this new information that we've learned puts all of this in more of a context for me.
But I was scared, because he's a cop. I didn't know I'm shaking right now. I didn't know what to do.
Did you hear? She said, I'm shaking right now. Now, I'll give this guy, I'm not even giving the credit to him. He's at the jail. At least this one you can hear without all this background talk and you know, at least he does pretend like he's listening to her. But if you'll notice as we go through here, he talks to this one the exact same way that he talks to all the rest of them. You were having a relationship. Whenever you started having this relationship, so you saw you could get out of paying your fees. Like he words all of this into the context, and then he speaks it back to her, like getting her to agree with him.
Mhm.
And you'll also hear her in this audio say, he was a cop. I never thought a cop would do this kind of stuff. Well, people didn't think any of these people would do this kind of stuff. You know, as a lawyer, are you supposed to are you supposed to hit on all your clients? Are those the ones that you're supposed to sleep with? All your clients. What, maybe when somebody comes and hires you?
L.
I don't know. Is that something that's
L.
crazy? Call me crazy. I just think that that's kind of a conflict. You know, whenever
Shut up.
thing is common.
And I've got witnesses that knows for a fact that he had been to my house multiple times. You know, for no reason.
And something else real fast. None of this would have come out if Mickey hadn't have done what he did down there at that courthouse.
Yeah.
This case was already done, over, and swept under the rug.
This was way back. This is 8 months ago, this stream that she did. Right? Have a look at the attitude change. Have a look at the attitude change.
And it wasn't coming back out. There wasn't nobody going to do anything. I think, my opinion, I think this civil case would have been settled. Nothing would have ever came out about it. Not one word. It would have went away very quietly. And nobody's voice would have been heard. But because Mickey went down there and did what nobody ever thought he would do, he burned down the playhouse.
Did you have any other communication to him other than him just coming to your house? Did he?
I've got some text messages, but my phone, they said got lost in the Letcher County Jail. I don't know if you can bring it up by my phone number or how, but for some reason they said they lost my belongings.
How did you communicate with Ben when you were on house arrest?
Yeah, I was on the first one, which I was only out for 3 days when he arrested me, was on a regular old house call. But the other one was GPS, so I didn't have to have a phone. He just showed it. But I've got multiple witnesses that see me in this call. I don't know if they knew what we were doing, but they seen us in this call.
You didn't communicate with him through any other, like Facebook or anything like that?
I have text messages, but like I said, I don't have my phone.
So when did the sexual relationship start?
Relationship.
Yes.
15th?
Yes.
And he's the one that frames it as the relationship. None of these women frame it that way. None of these women call it a relationship. Why? Why? That has to be intentional. There's no way.
I got a question. As part of the job of ankle monitor guy and having those monitors as a GPS tracking, obviously, and they would have their geofence and what have you, and any reports that they've, anything outside those boundaries would be sent an alert, I would think. Now, is it part of their job to go and see, like, visit them at home when they're on home arrest? Because that's the first time I've heard of that. Might be a question for Tyre, actually. What was that? So easy to put these girls down, but try to, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's not a normal thing, Simi, for them to go and do home visits to make sure that they are home, even though they've got a GPS on, because that's what he was doing. Going to her home. He'd find out that her husband wasn't there or he was away or whatever. And, yeah, he'd turn up at her house. That's how they started in August.
There's no way that he went in there in all of these interviews and did them all the same way?
Oh,
first came about.
Like I said, about him approaching me, a couple of years ago, a year and a half, 2 years ago, when I was getting out on house arrest, he just approached me, he just said, Jennifer, he said, if there's ever a time that you cannot afford your house arrest, he said, let me know and we can work something out. And I didn't know what he meant at first, because he's a cop. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, I can come pick you up and we can work things out together. And I said, how do you mean? He said, you do things for me, I do things for you.
And really, they weren't doing a damn thing for these women.
no.
Keeping them in jail. That's all they were doing for them.
No, they'd send them back to jail.
Grooming them into being the perfect little loyal side piece.
And you want to
And
know
they
what?
weren't even a side.
You want to know what's really, really sad? They were threatening them with sending them back to Letcher County because it's so disgusting. But they were also overcrowding Letcher County, so they were then releasing more women into house arrest to clear up the overcrowding in the prison, in the jail. Yeah. So they were feeding him.
Piece. These women were trafficked. Yep. And I just don't know how. There hasn't very first have been, and I mean that and say, investigate it. And there's a whole lot of other evidence that has not come out yet. But it will at the right time.
He said his wife was in jail, so I was scared to say anything now because I was being incarcerated in Letcher County Jail.
Ben's wife worked at the jail.
Oh, she got
this
a promotion.
Victim was scared to say anything about her. I've been told one of the women got whooped real good down there one night. Because supposedly she had been with Ben. That never came out. Nobody ever got in trouble. Oh no, we're just going to give somebody a promotion.
He told me when I denied him that Monday, he was back to rearrest me and I hadn't done nothing.
So he told you that 2 years ago.
Yes. And then when I got out this time, he approached me again. That's when he showed up at my house, probably about, and you'll find it, and I guess maybe the records from the police department or something. They showed up at my house at probably 9 or 10 o'clock at night and had ambulance and everything, and I don't know why. They said that they thought we were ODing our cars. We were all loading groceries. We were this sheriff's department. And Mickey Stines was there. He knows I wasn't hiring him. But he started threatening me that, telling me if you ever have to come back to my house, then he'll take me to jail. And I had been nothing else. And then it started from that night. After that, he started coming to my house every single day.
Ah, started coming to a house every single day.
If you make me happy, I'll make you happy.
Oh, you pig.
So he's told you this 2 years ago.
Yes.
It's 2 years from August the 15th.
Yes. About a year and a half, 2 years. Around that time. I'm sorry, I'm a recovering drug addict, so I can't remember a lot. I know that my house burnt down about a year and a half, 2 years ago, so it was right around that time.
I'm just trying to get obviously that time frame. So we're looking a year and a half, 2 years ago from August the 15th, he approached you, said, if you couldn't pay for your bracelet, then there's other ways to take care of it. You didn't take him up on that, didn't say anything to him.
No.
You went through your life for that next year and a half, 2 year period, you get rearrested, you're put back on an ankle monitor, and then after that arrest, he starts coming to your house.
Yes.
He's not messaging you or
No, he just started showing
up by himself. But you said that one time
the first time he showed up, he was the sheriff's department and Mickey Stines showed up and 3 or 4 other cop cars, the ambulance. But I have to say, I believe that he's the one that had all that set up because nobody would have called him. Say we were OD'd in the car. We were almost groceries.
What were you arrested for? Can you remember what you were arrested for that got you around that August 15th time period? What charge it was?
I'm wanting to say possession.
Who was it? Where was it out of? Letcher?
Letcher County.
Do you remember who arrested you? Maybe I can.
No.
The deputy?
Whitaker, maybe. I believe his last name was Whitaker.
Yeah, a deputy or a police
I
officer?
believe he was like the Jenkins, or no, the first time was Jenkins police. So it would have been these people.
Jim Stevens is who she means.
And the guy, who are we talking about when you just briefly mentioned that was come to your house? What deputy are we talking about?
What deputy are we talking about? Are you kidding me? This man infuriates me. I don't know how they could ever send him to interview another victim of sexual abuse in the entire state. But this is my point when I say competence. He is in no way, shape, or form qualified to interview female sexual abuse or sex trafficking victims. I mean, all we have to do is listen to these interviews, and you don't have to have a master's degree to be able to identify this. Somebody without an education at all could hear this and say, man, that just don't sound right. So for all these real big, smart, powerful people, they sure ain't very bright, are they?
Don't want to get too mixed up. Yeah, that's fine.
Infuriates me.
So you get arrested for that possession around August 15th, sometime through that period.
The first time when I got arrested, that was the year and a half, 2 years ago. That was Ben Stevens arrested me at the time. The second time, I believe his name was Whitaker. And it was in Whitesburg.
And that was August.
Yes.
Okay. I think his name was Whitaker.
Yeah.
He worked for the sheriff's office, the trooper.
I'm thinking he worked for just the regular Whitesburg Police Department.
No, it wasn't that, Simmy.
And I know Tyrone Fields was there that day.
So what happened? So initially, Ty and Brandy were being interviewed by Liz, and telling their story through her. And when Tyre named Harold Bowling as one of her abusers, Liz didn't believe her because she likes Harold Bowling, and did not believe that he could be part of that. So basically, pretty much called her a liar and victim shamed her, and then started talking about Mickey Stines' daughter Leah, who had just turned 18. And yeah, just really started throwing muck. Like did a full 180. So she started saying things like, oh, the judge, we haven't really had any evidence that the judge has done anything illegal, rah, rah, rah. And it's just smearing Mickey. But she also then started saying something on her channel and victim shaming Tyre, And Ty got into the chat and, what are you doing, Liz? Like, why are you turning on us? Like, blah, 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 and had a go at her. And so from then on, she blocked her and just started this campaign of painting her as a hooker, basically. People don't see like women like Ty as victims. Yep. And it just continued. So that's why they have nothing to do with it now.
So you got arrested there, went to jail, you get back out on house arrest, Ben hooks you up on the monitoring system. How's that?
I can't do it. I can't.
Well, that day, I remember the day his grandson was born that day. Because Angie, his wife, worked in the jailhouse too. She was telling us, that she had a new baby, grandbaby. And then when I was out on house arrest, he didn't really say nothing to me in the jailhouse that day because he had to put my monitor up in the waiting room. And there was people stuff. He hooked my monitor up and he was telling me that his grandson, he had just become a grandfather that day. And he said that he would be getting in contact with me.
Can't help myself.
For my home placement. When I called for my home placement, that
can't help myself with what, dog?
later,
On crackers?
I couldn't get hold of it. So I called Patty, I believe the name is, over the home incarceration, and told her she approved me. And then that very same night or the night after that, when all the cops showed up at my house, said that was supposed to be OD. That's why I believe he was the one that had been there that night, because I don't understand how he would have gotten there before the police department would have.
You didn't get arrested that night?
No. But that's the night he started.
Oh, yeah, no, I can't do it.
So I started doing stuff.
So it was the day after your arrest is when he came to the house. And you think that's sometime around the 15th of August?
The 15th is when I got out. I was out of, I got arrested, I'm sorry. I was in jail in August. I'm wanting to say I got out.
No, well,
August.
I'm so going to cry when summer's over. I'm so going to cry. I just said to Tanya today, we went to the fruit market on Tuesday and I bought 8 mangoes, 6 plums, 4 nectarines, and 2 kilos, no, 1 kilo of cherries. What else? And 4 avocados. I think I've got 2 mangoes left, 1 plum, 2 nectarines. All the cherries are gone. Oh, and watermelon. And yeah, most of it's gone. So I'm really going to cry when summer's over. I really am. I love my summer fruits. In fact, I might have to go and get me a bit of watermelon now I've mentioned it.
1st of October. At least October 3rd. Because that's usually when my fiance gets this check.
Now she skipped a month there. They said August, and then they skipped September altogether and went to October. She's living a pretty rough life. She's not going to remember the dates. How hard would that be to go pull the records? Go pull the records and get the actual dates. It wouldn't be that hard.
Hey, why aren't you right?
So I haven't been out about.
Why are you green and not blue? What happened to your wrench? I have to rectify that.
At least October 3rd.
I just
I
noticed that
went
then.
out a week, and that's when he came to my house that first night. And then the next day is when he came to my house. Maybe 2 days later, at the most, and he was acting like he was looking for a monitor bracelet. But a guy named Robbie Collins, I believe his name is, and that day after that or something like that, after the cop showed up, is when he told me that if I made him happy, he'd make me happy. And I had to give him all stuff in his car. It was back, there might even be cameras because it's a church parking lot. There's a car, he parked his car back behind where my house was. In the church parking lot, there's like grass on each side, there's a graveyard up the hill. He parked his car right there and had me get the car.
We're going to go over this. So we're talking The second time you get arrested by a widow.
She just started to tell him about her getting in the car with him, and what did this guy do? He completely changed the subject and went back. Oh, so let me get this straight. In every one of these interviews, he acts like he can't follow nothing that these women say.
Yes. You said that the relationship started around August the 15th.
The
But then you
relationship.
said you didn't get out till October.
I mean, I got arrested on August 15th. That's when all it first started, when I was arrested that time.
Yeah.
And when I got out on October 3rd, that's when it started. I'm sorry.
Oh, I had no idea what you were talking
You
about.
got out in October.
Yes, I was arrested on August 15th, something like that.
I don't know why it went green in the first place.
And that's all he seems to be stuck on. I mean, I've never seen a more incompetent.
Yeah, I never took the wrench off him, so I don't know why it's gone. I just noticed it now.
Investigation in my life. And no, I don't work in law enforcement, but we sure watch a whole lot of trials. We sure look at a whole lot of cases. As a good attorney general's officer, or he was cased at all. Body? Oh, unbelievable.
I thought that when I was just maybe a month when he tried to, like I said that last time. When
I'm going to get me some watermelon.
I denied him, and then
I'll be back.
that's when he tried to say I tried to stay.
Okay, so you had oral sex behind the church.
Yeah, in the church parking lot behind the house. He was always in that sheriff's car.
What was the name of the church?
I want to say maybe Freeville Baptist. It's in Hemphill, Kentucky.
Where?
Hemphill, Kentucky. Yeah, Horn.
Hemphill.
Hemphill.
In Hemphill. Yeah, it's in Neon.
Is that after you go through Whitesburg, or is that?
Yeah, you go through Whitesburg to Neon. In Neon, Kentucky, up towards Jackson.
That's up around where Mickey lives or lived. Mickey lives in McRoberts. You have to go to Neon, and you either go one of two ways. You can either go on to McRoberts, or you can go up Hemphill. And so I don't know about how many miles, maybe 10, 15 miles away from each other, but it's around the same area.
So he starts coming to your house after you get out in October.
And then,
Does he just start coming and hang out with you, or?
he just started, like I said, at first he was just harassing me. And I'm scared that he was going to lock me back up because he had done it before.
He was harassing her. She was afraid he was going to lock her back up because he had done it. He had done that to her before. Same way with all this crap, this friendship, Facebook friendship crap that the prosecutor pulled on me. How many people on probation and parole do you think contacted me afterwards, or their family members contacted me afterwards and said, please don't get mad at them. Don't think that they don't like you. They're just scared to death he's going to revoke their probation. They're scared to death that he's going to revoke their parole. They're in drug court. They're scared to death that they'll be retaliated against.
He's what I prepared earlier.
This is a widespread playbook here.
And so I felt like if I didn't do what he wanted me to, that he would have me put back in jail. And when I denied him, he did it. He would try to hit me with a skate, which didn't suit me because I didn't.
Oh, yeah, I did too.
But I did get rearrested for it, and I sat in jail for 3 months.
And is that?
She sat in jail for 3 months.
No.
Now, do you think that's okay? Do you think that's acceptable by any?
Did Udaf unmoderate himself? Can you do that? Do you have a choice?
Stretch of the imagination, is that acceptable? No.
That year and a half, 2 year period that you were out from.
That's false imprisonment. I mean, how is that not kidnapping?
The first time he mentioned proposition.
There ain't no immunity with crimes.
Year and a half, 2 years ago, and then this past August.
Okay. When did the escape? When did he get the escape warrant on?
At the end of October. I was getting out 19 days because my birthday's October 19th, and he had me hit with it on October 20th.
Listen to this.
I was rearrested.
And that was 2021, October. So you got out in October, and then you got rearrested for escape
In October.
in October.
And I had just paid my house arrest that day. So why would I escape?
She just paid her house arrest that day.
Mm-hmm.
So why would she escape?
Yeah.
Easy to prove this stuff.
I probably went in and out 2 weeks.
Okay. Is that what you're in jail on right now?
Well, I'm in jail for the charges that was supposed to be that his sister was over for drug court, which I was charged with upstairs and downstairs, and he's the bailiff downstairs. So my charges.
She was charged downstairs and upstairs. Same charge.
Really? How's that
Who was her
possible?
lawyer? Well, when you're in drug court, you're not even able to have a lawyer, are you? My friend told me that whenever you go into drug court, you sign away all your rights. Just like her having a 2-year drug court program. They kept her in drug court for 4 years.
Yeah,
2 years over what her time was.
Yep.
And I said, how can they even do that? Like, how can they do that? She
The
said, 'cause
judge-
they kept making me start over.
Yeah.
They kept making
The
me,
judge
put
orders
me
it.
back at the beginning.
Yep. To get more money.
Not one failed drug test.
No.
Not one. Said he didn't like her mouth. He didn't like her mouth. She got caught hanging around with somebody she
got
wasn't
fucked
supposed
over
to be
big time,
hanging around
apparently.
with. Put her back at the beginning.
Yep.
Kept her in there 4 years.
Or downstairs in district, I was charged for the same crime and upstairs.
How can you get that?
It's the same charges.
So what's holding you in here right now?
That,
The escape.
no, the charges that his sister's supposed to.
What charges is that?
And that's Holly. That's the drug court. So Ben's sister had her arrested from the drug court program.
Oh.
Ah, okay.
Uh-huh.
Do
you want me?
Not one thing in any of these interviews.
Did you unwrench yourself? I thought YouTube had made a mistake, so I re-wrenched you, but I can take it off if you want to. I didn't realize you had a choice.
Interviews to investigate, huh? Further than the plea bargain for Ben. Not one thing. You couldn't find one thing in here. She names off a whole bunch of witnesses here in a minute that witnessed Ben coming to her house. And I'm going to skip over that. We're not going to let,
You've made a new channel. What, a YouTube channel? Come on. Spill your guts then. Why am I hearing it now? I didn't know that either, Simmy. Who'd have thought? Come on, spill your guts.
Play the names, but he had enough. He had enough.
Possession is the empty bag. There was nothing in it.
What did they get? How did they get a possession charge? Or they found a bag at?
On me, I had an empty bag.
From where? But I mean, so you're out in October.
Mm-hmm.
He gets an escape warrant.
Yes.
But you're saying his sister, who is in drug court.
Yeah.
She's over drug court.
So they've sanctioned you.
I don't know. I haven't seen a judge or nothing since I've been here.
Hello? How you doing?
But I haven't spoken to nobody.
Did you change your name?
They don't tell me nothing.
Don't tell her nothing. Interesting.
They didn't tell you what you were charged with, or
I took consent to court.
contempt of court?
Slander and libel or something like that. I don't even know what that really means.
Slander and libel. Well, now I know what that means, but I've never heard it in this context. How many of you guys have heard it in this context? He's getting ready to say it. So listen to what he says
Okay.
and tell me what you think. Because it might.
I thought it was Miss Palola's mum. How you doing? Nice to see you.
Might be, it
Welcome
might
home.
be, and I'm just not aware of it.
Typically means you violated some kind of.
Oh, let me so yeah. Do you want the wrench or not? Dodge a ball, you can dodge a wrench. You want to be blue or green? Speak now, forever hold your peace. I've been better, sweetheart. I've been better. Yeah. I had a fall over Christmas, and fractured 2 ribs. So yeah, it's been fun. You'll take the wrench. All right.
Of the court system is usually what it is.
So slander and libel means that you violated some condition of the court system.
Done.
That's what that usually means.
Bada bing,
That's
bada boom.
exactly what he said.
I mean, I understand. I was scared though. You know, he told me they had a holder on me. I don't understand what they did. Let me out that holder on.
Welcome.
Okay, so you get out
No.
on 1st October,
No.
and you get rearrested at the end of October,
October 20th.
and then you get out again.
Yes. In December.
So you got out again.
That was for charge. That's when they gave me drug court. And then if you can rewind the cameras back that far, you can see me walking out of the jailhouse and him hollering at me walking up to him, and him talking. You can see him talking to me.
When she says this, every time this is the second time she's mentioned it in this recording. She says, all you have to do is roll back the cameras and you'll see I'm telling you the truth. That's how most of us think, you know. All you have to do is look and you'll see that I'm telling the truth. How many people go look? They don't. I guarantee you nobody pulled that footage. Nobody looked at that. Nobody cared.
That's when he told me that his sister was in the jail up in the courthouse right then, and that I better run because they had a holder on.
Okay, so
And it started, you know what I'm saying? So I run it.
so we're in October now, and you said that you start having sexual relationships with him in October.
Yeah.
Here he goes again.
Yeah.
You start having sexual relations with him. Really, dude? Really?
I had oral sex with him and sex 3 times in October. Within like a 2-week period.
If I was ever a defense attorney, I would use this anytime they tried to use this investigator. If there was any way that I could, which I don't know, I'm not trained as a lawyer, you know, I'm no lawyer. But if there was any way that I could use something like this against any of these investigators.
And oral sex.
If first time was oral sex.
So just first time was oral?
Yes.
Never thought about that.
You were just intercourse.
Yes.
Oh,
And
that's
what did,
interesting.
you said one of those times took place at the church parking lot?
Yes. Well, no, all of them took place in the church parking lot.
All of them?
Parked, yeah, he was parked behind us.
Okay. So.
No, that wasn't
You
fine.
all
I
have a
think
sex
that was
relationship, you get
on
rearrested,
the stream.
you get back out in December.
Yeah, and,
Now, what do you
Hey
get
there,
arrested for in October?
that is for the
Escape?
possession, well, in August,
I hope it's not one of mine.
I went back to jail, that was 50 days, and he said that I had escaped, which I hadn't.
So
Yeah.
you got out first of October.
Yes.
Went
Great.
back in at the end of October, sometime at the end.
It was on the 20th.
I'm sorry.
After my birthday, and they rearrested.
That's all he cares about
Ugh.
are the dates, the more details.
Because the day, like, so the day before that,
You're having a relationship with him, and then all of a sudden he just pops an escape warrant on you.
yes.
Uh-huh.
You go in and you stay till December. Then in December you get out again.
He thought that we were still gonna have a relationship.
Yeah.
Like,
There's
they
one.
told me
There's
when
two on the bed.
I haven't contacted me at all.
Yep. There's two pussies on the bed. So you have Whitey right there, Mr. Fatty. Oh, can't work out which way my finger. That one. Finn. Finny. Finn. Hello. And then up there, that little black spot. Which way am I going? There. That black spot there is Felix. Felix. Puss, puss. There we go. Hello. Hey, buddy. Hello. Come on. Mum, you're waking me up. It's late. The black one there is the one that has separation anxiety. So he sleeps like my side is the bed where the white one is. And Felix's side is the other side. He's on his blankie and everything. Yeah. And there's two others.
Now, all she did, which I'm no specialist or anything, but in my opinion, all she did was speak back to him. And that's why I think he's done that,
Really?
to get her to repeat it back to him. He has laid the context. He laid that foundation. And so now she's just referring
shut up.
back to what he called it. Here, and he
was a cop, I didn't think that cops would do that.
there it is.
I was scared.
So now you've got out in December.
Do you see that? He just skips right
No,
over it. She says,
I don't make enough money to be fucking worried about that.
I was scared. He was a cop. I didn't think cops would do that.
No, shut up.
So I don't think I've ever been.
Had your mouth shut, that's what.
I got like a week before Christmas.
And when you got out in December, you saw him outside of the.
We have another 108er today. Well, we will be in a few hours. So it's 3 a.m. So yeah, we're up for another, what's that, 42 degrees, I think, today. Yeah. Hey, I saw my comment.
Courthouse.
Inside of the courthouse.
You know what day or anything?
It was on a Friday.
You don't know what day for. Physical day.
I'm wanting to say it was like a week before Christmas, maybe like 17th.
Oh, I actually didn't think this went for that long. We might have to
Were you on house arrest at that time? So he saw you outside, told you to stay hid. They were gonna.
They had a holder on me.
But you just got out.
Yeah, that's what scared me.
How many days were you out between you got out in December to
The February 4th.
till he told you that, or was that the same day?
He told me that his sister was in the courthouse right then. He said, my sister's over your drug court. Her name is Holly. He said, they have a holder on you. You need to go. But I didn't realize that drug court worked with you, like if it was child support or something, and would have the holders released. I didn't know that. He didn't tell me that.
I don't understand that.
So, sister had a holder to hold you
Yes,
and to run.
yes,
Sister had a
You
whole.
did run.
yes, I did. I was staying
He set her up.
until February 4th. I don't have no new charges. It was just picking me up on that. Yeah.
What's a holder?
And then you were arrested.
And why wasn't there more people named in that civil suit? There should have been more people named in that civil suit, which I'm no lawyer, remember.
No, you're not.
So, August the 15th, you're arrested somewhere around there.
I ain't no lawyer. I don't want to be no lawyer.
Sorry.
How many times he gonna say
You had a
this?
relationship with him until
No.
end of October.
No.
Does he arrest you on escape or somebody else?
We've been sitting here listening from what she started having a relation. He
Ah.
piloted, get in trouble, detect, and wouldn't have went. We still were they supposed to? And she's no longer with us anymore.
No.
We don't.
And the police department, the sheriff's department came get me. And then he met me at the jail.
Arrested on escape.
I've got the written deposition. It's just not the same though.
And you stay there till December
Yes,
17th maybe. You get out and then he says, you're gonna run.
yes.
So when you get out in October, that's when you enter drug court, right?
In December. In December, when I got out in December, he had it fixed where I would get drug court to talk to the judge.
So why would his sister, the day you get out enrolled in drug court, automatically put a holder on you
I don't know.
when you just got out of jail that day?
I know. That's what started.
So you didn't start.
I didn't start drug court because of that.
You didn't start drug court on the 17th.
He set her
You
up.
started drug court on the 17th, the day you got out.
Yes. But I didn't go
Well,
because
it's the same day that he told you they had a holder on.
yes. See, the woman, his wife, Angie, was like the
You know what?
boss at the job.
You know what? She implicates way more people. She implicates Angie, his wife. She implicates his sister. And she details exactly how many times he manipulated her and how he would go to her house. She was a bigger threat than Sabrina. Way bigger. Read the deposition with her daughter. No? Doesn't Taya know her daughter? Whose daughter? Whose daughter? Taya knew Jennifer. Read the deposition with her daughter. No, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, she was given a hot shot doll.
And she was quitting her job.
Absolutely. They found all sorts of shit. I think it was a couple of streams ago we were talking about it. But Tyra is going to actually tell the whole story, which is why I'm thinking I might, because I didn't realize that it was this long. and we're an hour and 10 into it, and it's still got at least another hour to go. So we're about halfway. So yeah, I think what I might do is actually watch the rest of this when I've got Ty with me, and she can give us a bit more context and a bit more detail on what actually happened, because she said to me the other night that she really got fucked over, like really, really badly. So yeah, yes, Ty, I know her. Yes, yes, beautiful girl. Probably early 40s, beautiful long blonde hair. Yep, hot shot. So Ty she's lost a lot of friends. She lost her best friend, which was Lexi. She's lost 2 ex-husbands. Yeah. Ty say Jennifer's no. Yeah, no. So there's Ty that came for Sabrina and Jennifer were the first 2 to make charges. And that's why they made charges against Ben Fields, and that is the deposition that Mickey had to go to. That's what triggered the shooting, the depot, because they were worried he was going to say something and expose the good little thing they had down there. So Jennifer didn't make it to the trial, but Sabrina did, and apparently there was a third person that's still going, and she's called Rebecca, which I need to speak to Ty about. And then once the shooting happened, then Tyre was the first one to come forward and spoke to Brian Eaton. And then there was, oh, she's going to kill me. Oh, her name was just beautiful blonde lady. Come on, Teresa, you can help me. What's her name? And the third one that came through just like before Christmas was Jamie Rayburn. But Jamie was more telling her mother's story, because her mother was similar age to Tyre and Brandy, and basically, like, even her grandmother was telling her she got in trouble once for a citation, and the grandmother was encouraging her to go down and see the judge. You know, it's a known thing that, you know, things can be fixed if you just go see the judge. So yeah, but this is to do with how that came about. So this is all before the shooting. This is the civil case, but this lady Jennifer did not get to trial.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what are we? 110 into it. All right, I'm going to call it. Starts with a. I've got her on Facebook. Hang on. Un momento, per favore. She. Come on. Gemma Bentley. So, and then Jamie Rayburn. So that's the 3 of them, 4 of them that have come forward. And Sabrina, Tyre was trying to get Sabrina to come on when we did her depot, but she doesn't want to do anything until her civil case completely finished. She's settled with the ankle monitor people, but not the rest. So that's fair. I'd actually like to get Alison Weinberg on and speak to her, because she's a wealth of information, and she's also an attorney, so she can give us a bit more of an in-depth thing. The Uvalde trial continues today. Oh, I was going to start the what's the name? The TikTok, but that got waylaid until August. Bit of a bugger. I just saw it as I was going through, looking at finding these. Yeah. I think I don't really know, but I've got a feeling that that crime scene was horrific. Yeah. Just quietly. And I don't know. I'm making assumptions here, but I reckon that Jackson's probably taken one look at it and gone, you know what, mate? Can't help you. Don't know. I don't know. There's something not right. Not right with that at all. Oh, really? Okay. I don't think Lizzie would watch. Okay, the family wouldn't pay. Well, apparently he was accessing the family money. Apparently that he had full access to the family money. So I don't know. Well, you can't say it was because he didn't pay, because he went pro bono for Karen. So he didn't say innocent. He said not guilty. Oh, okay. But even an insanity defense, like, that's something that you still work with. But if he thought that he couldn't even get the insanity defense, I reckon that's probably why he's pulled it. I don't know. I'm just purely speculating because I know nothing about it. He did eventually, yes. He did eventually. What was that? So what did Alan Jackson actually say when he turned down the case? Like, is there a press release or anything that we can watch? Let me have a look. See, Richard Allen get. Oh. Have any more sidebars dropped? Oh, Spread Church will come back. UVLA school shooting officer on trial. Oh, in Texas. I'm sure I saw an update on Alan Jackson. It's gone. Hang on. Alan Jackson. Alan. It was discussed in chambers, but there was a mini presser where he said not guilty by California laws. Oh. Well, no, I'm saying that I would take that. Aren't you a lovely legend? Hear that ding ding? That would be Mr. Issio with a link. Pause. Share this instead. Thank you, darling. She comes through on the WhatsApp. But he said he'd go. Oh, where is the... No, there it is. It's that tiny little dot there.
This morning, I had to withdraw as Nick Reiner's counsel. Circumstances beyond our control, but more importantly, circumstances beyond Nick's control have dictated that, sadly, it's made it impossible for us to continue our representation of Nick. I'm legally and I'm ethically prohibited from explaining all the reasons why. I know that's a question on everybody's mind. We expect the public defender to step in. They've already been appointed and very capably protect Nick Reiner's interests.
Public defender.
Forward through the system.
Maybe the rest of the family or the executor to their will has stopped the money flow because I know he had access to it.
But be clear. Be very, very clear about
That's
this.
very
My
sad
team
too.
And I remain deeply, deeply committed to Nick Reiner.
Palola's mum, have you heard of Samantha Beningo? She's the I Don't Belong Here. She's a psychologist, psychotherapist, psycho counselor. She's got so many degrees. She's got a YouTube channel called I Don't Belong Here, and she just did a live today based on that hearing because it's very, very sad. Very, very sad.
And to his best interests.
I'll see if I can drop her link in chat.
We know, we're not just convinced, we know that the legal process will reveal the true facts of the circumstances surrounding this case, Nick's case. You know, a lot's been printed of late, over the last 3 weeks. A lot has been printed about Nick, printed about his family, printed about the circumstances. Speculation is in print. On December 15th, in the early morning hours, I was in New York at the time, and I got a call.
There you go.
My team,
That's the stream link to tonight's, to the actual YouTube presentation about that hearing. It goes into depth about postpartum depression and all sorts of stuff.
Dropped everything. And for the last 3 weeks, we have devoted literally every waking hour.
Welcome.
To protect.
She's amazing. She's fantastic. And her cover, like she's basically analyzed almost every person in the, important in the Karen Reid trial, and her insights and her knowledge in that area are just phenomenal.
And his
I'm sure you'll like her.
We've investigated this matter top to bottom, back to front.
I don't like him with a beard.
Learned, and you could take this to the bank, is that pursuant to the laws of this state, pursuant to the law in California, Nick Reiner is not guilty of murder. Print that. Print that. We wish him the very, very best moving forward. And that's all I have today.
That sounds like, to me, he said the public defender in place now. So, yeah, I think the money's dried up just quietly. That's where that's gone. Yeah. So, anywho, what else have we got to? I don't think we've got anything else. Anything updated? to do on there. Did we get through all of? We didn't get through all of Sabrina's depot, did we? Anyway, so tomorrow night, I'm doing the carrot. This has actually been really an eye opener and very interesting for me. And I don't even know how I came across it, but I've always been a stickler for like people that call that Karen Reid case a conspiracy, because it's not. It's about corruption. And it occurred to me what the difference between the two is. And you will be very, very surprised. Very, very surprised. I was. So, yes, I'll be going through that tomorrow. And I've done like a deep one of these ones. I haven't played this one for a while.
Here we go again, my friends. The novelty that never ends. You know that I could not survive without doing a deep, deep dive.
Yep. But I don't use the gloves. Oh, dear. All right, my lovelies. Well, thanks again for joining us. If there's anything else that pops up during the week that is going on, because I don't know, I've just got I feel it in my loins. Feel it in my loins. Don't know why, but there's something going on. And conspiracy is just when two or more people conspire to commit a crime. Correct. Well, yes. Conspiracy theory is asserting a conspiracy has occurred, but has the connotations of the evidence to prove it doesn't exist. Well, not really. So do you think that it's a conspiracy or it's about corruption? Because the connotations are very, very different. And yeah, I've really found it interesting. Because, I've never called it a conspiracy. Because to conspire to do that means that you would have to have planned how that was going to work. And there are fucking 10 million better ways to come up with a way to unalive someone than reversing into them in a car. So there you go. Alrighty. So yes, it's an eye opener. It's really it took me down a rabbit hole I wasn't expecting at all. So yes, it's good. All right. So I will see you same time, same place, same back channel. If you can't be good at it. Call your bullshit out. And I'll see you next time. Hasta la vista, bitches.
Hey there, thanks for stopping in. We hope you will join us again. We all look forward to next time. We get to talk about true crime. Clues. Justice served in an honest fight. True crime tales till the verdict's right. Solving more than just trivial quests, where sentences rule and the defense rests. Our true crime family is great. All types of topics we debate. Smash that like and ring that bell. Hit subscribe, you might as well.